Most of us have been entirely dry so far this Saturday afternoon, and most of us will continue to remain entirely dry, but there is just a tiny amount of shower action out there on radar right now, mainly towards Butler County near northern Hamilton County. Now this is moving kind of southerly, about 10 miles per hour, but it is producing a good amount of rain. Again, this is not technically a thunderstorm right now. It could produce some lightning, but overall not a huge impact right here. Good news for those out in Westchester for the Voices of America Country Music Festival is that this is moving away from Westchester and more towards Forest Park, south of Fairfield, north of Wyoming, generally towards 127. So if you're familiar with the Reading area, that is where this little shower is starting to get a little bit closer. But again, most of us have remained entirely dry, and most of us will remain entirely dry. But I do want to bring your attention, just a couple of showers starting to straddle the line between Grant and Pendleton counties near I-75 in northern Kentucky. No lightning with this. In fact, just a little bit of rain. And not too far away from that is, of course, mostly sunny skies, which is what most of us here in the Queen City have seen throughout the day today. And temperatures have been allowed to crack into the low 90s. For many of us here in Cincinnati, it is 90 degrees and mostly sunny. You see here in Newport and the Levee, a busy one for those at Sawyer Point, Yeatman's Cove for the Red Bull Fluke Tog, which is really interesting. Of course, really good forecast to be launching yourself into the Ohio River just because of how hot it's been, how hot it will continue to be for your afternoon and your evening. So 90 degrees now, other temperatures across the board in the upper 80s to the lower 90s. Some of us a little bit rain cooled. Looking at you guys over in Hamilton, closer to Butler County. Batesville is in the low 80s as well. So I want to show you what's going on upstairs in the atmosphere to provide us this heat, because while it is not exactly excruciatingly hot outside, it's definitely easy to handle. It's more warmth than what we're typically used to for this time of year, and that's because we've got high pressure not too far away. It's pulling in on the back side of that center of high pressure, southeasterly winds, providing us some heat and humidity from the south. So again, this is more of a southern pattern, if you will. So if you like the weather from the Carolinas, if you like the weather from Mississippi, Georgia, even Alabama, northern Florida, that's what we're feeling right now. It's not necessarily triple-digit heat indices like southern Florida, but it is absolutely warmer than perhaps what we're used to. Now, I'm not worried about that line of showers starting to cross near Chicago into Michigan, because as this slowly trudges closer to the tri-state, I mean, it's moving very slowly, you see right there. So it's going to weaken. 1, the high pressure is going to fight it off. 2, and then 3, if it arrives overnight, we won't get any rain at all from that. I'm bringing your attention to that center of low pressure, which is well away from the area. And high pressure is really going to dominate over the next several days. That center of high pressure that has nestled itself in the northeast will stay right there, at least up until this low pressure gets a little bit closer, in which we will start to see some showers and thunderstorms. That won't happen though until late Tuesday into Wednesday, which we got to update those storm chances, and we'll do so here in just a few minutes. I want to rehash what tonight's going to look like for any of you guys that are hitting the town tonight. It's hot, it's humid, it's been worse though. I mean, upper 80s feels true to it, with a light breeze and dew points anywhere between 60 and 70 degrees. So the rest of the day today, mild, muggy, a stray shower possible, but those of us that do get the showers, you noticed there a second ago up towards northern Hamilton County near the Reading, Wyoming area, these showers are moving super slowly. So if you get one of them, if you're one of the unlucky ones that gets it for a Saturday evening, just have the umbrella just in case, because it's not exactly going to be speeding on by, just kind of slowly trudging on by. Again, most of us are going to dodge that chance altogether. Soak in mostly sunny skies, temperatures right around sunset, which is before 9 o'clock. Low 80s, and then dropping to the low 70s overnight into your Sunday. Another mild and muggy start to the day tomorrow, but clear skies, which makes for a relatively great view of what once was the full sturgeon moon, which Shane Wilson out in Bethel, eastern Clermont County, snagged this wonderful capture of the sturgeon moon. So it's called the sturgeon moon, or at least August's full moon is called the sturgeon moon, because sturgeon this time of year in the Great Lakes are just easier to catch. Really fascinating stuff, of course, and to put more perspective into the sunrise and sunsets. We're seeing these getting closer and closer together, or I guess farther and farther apart would make more sense. Anyways, we're losing daylight, folks. We, between August 1st and August 31st, are going to be losing an hour and 7 minutes of daylight. So you're going to notice later sunsets, later sunrises and earlier sunsets. You're especially going to notice the sunsets getting earlier as we wrap up the month of August and step into September. We're not noticing anything fall-like with these temperatures, of course. Summer is here, and she is here to stay in the world of weather. Tomorrow, 91-hour forecast high, mostly sunny skies, and just a stray afternoon shower or two. With normal highs typically in the middle 80s, we are going to be considerably warmer than that. So if you're heading out to the celebration of the 10th anniversary of FC Cincinnati tomorrow, festivities kick off as early as 2 or 2:30, and it's not until 6 that we actually kick off against Charlotte FC. So going to be great weather. Hopefully the showers stay away from Cincinnati, although we've gotten not insanely lucky here in the downtown area. Over the last several days, it seems like every single shower that we've had has slowly been magnetized towards downtown Cincinnati. Hopefully tomorrow is the outlier or the exception, because we want to celebrate the orange in blue. So tomorrow, temperatures for the march, the celebrations, going to be right around 90 degrees. Those heat indices anywhere between 90 and 95, so not exactly sweltering, but definitely one that you won't want to wear heavy layers to. You'll want to have your hat, your sunglasses with mostly sunny skies, and your SPF, of course. And the drive home will be dropping into the low 80s and eventually the 70s overnight into Monday. So getting you through the next few days. It's a very rinse and repeat forecast. We saw it yesterday, we see it today. We'll see it Sunday and Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday is when things start to change. So I'm going to give you the best opportunity, the first alert, if you will, on the best time to take care of the lawns and gardens, which of course, between yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Monday, it's hot and humid during the day, which is why I gave some yellow lawn mowers. But if you take care of the lawns in the morning or in the evening, pretty good. I mean, those would be green lawn mowers, but I'm taking the heat of the day into consideration here. And then a red lawn mower comes on in for Wednesday, and that's when our next best chance for showers and storms going to arrive here in the tri-state. To give you an idea of the heat, though, up until Wednesday, tomorrow, again, heat indices anywhere between 90 and 95. Monday, just a little bit warmer than that, anywhere kind of just in the middle 90s, give or take. Tuesday, before those showers and storms start to arrive from the west, which they'll do so late Tuesday afternoon, is what I'm looking at right now, middle 90s for those feels-like temperatures. So there's going to be a good amount of storm fuel for these storms arriving late Tuesday. We'll be watching should anything turn severe or strong or severe, but it isn't the time of year where we're too concerned about widespread severe weather outbreaks, but rather these isolated, stronger thunderstorms that could bring heavy rain, frequent lightning, and some stronger wind gusts would be our three main concerns. And again, the humidity that is settling on in now is not really going to go anywhere anytime soon. In fact, it is storm fuel for that setup there on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and lingering a little bit into Thursday as well. So updating when to expect the rain, or at least most of it, Wednesday. Between early morning in the afternoon, there's going to be a good amount of action out there on radar. If you have outdoor plans on Wednesday, consider having a plan B. We're going to have some breaks in between the action, more than likely. I don't think it's going to be a washout sort of day, but it's definitely going to be hard to get outdoor plans in if the outdoor plans are longer than an hour long. So yeah, the Reds are playing that day. We'll be watching for them, of course, as we're the forecasting partners of the Reds here at Fox 19, but that is the day in which we're most likely going to get a rain delay. Monday and Tuesday, out of those 2 days, it's hot and humid with spotty storms in the afternoons. Thursday, lingering showers and storms as a cold front slowly catches and pushes through the area. And then Friday and Saturday, we return very quickly back to that hot, humid pattern with some isolated showers and storms in the afternoon. So All right, this forecast, let's walk you through it here on your first alert forecast model. So we're going to take a look here at the rain chances over the next several days. We'll start with tomorrow. Tomorrow is very much like today, in which most of us, hot, humid, no storms, just a lot of sun. You'll see that in the early half of the day, and then we get into the afternoon. Those taller clouds could be tall enough to become some showers. I mean, look at that. It's really not that impressive, guys. And I don't think you need to reconsider any plans. If you're heading out to the Voices of America Country Music Fest tomorrow afternoon for the final day of the festival, I don't think you need to cancel plans, but you do need to be watching radar pretty carefully because there is just the opportunity for a small shower to be in Westchester in the afternoon tomorrow. Now, working into Monday, like Sunday, like today, like yesterday, Thursday, Friday, or excuse me, Wednesday, hot, humid, and a stray shower possible in the afternoon. Now Tuesday is different. We start to notice a little bit more green getting closer and closer. So I would plan for some spotty storms late in the afternoon on Tuesday into the early evening if you live west of Cincinnati. Here in Cincinnati and east, it's not looking as impressive until overnight into Wednesday. That's when we're more than likely going to see some rain here in Cincinnati and east of I-71. And then Wednesday, just off and on scattered showers and thunderstorms as we wait for a cold front to get closer to the tri-state, but really struggle to pass on through. And so I want to give you an idea of what things are going to look like after this 7-day forecast, because I know a lot of us heading back to school, if not this week, then the next, or maybe even the next. We're not looking at much relief in the extended forecast and beyond the extended forecast from this hot, humid, and a little bit of a stormy pattern as well. So above normal temperatures over the next 14 days. So that takes us all the way to August 23rd. So the next 7 days, hot, humid, a little bit of storms in the early half of the forecast, and then we exchange that heat for some storm chances, or at least better storm chances, as soon as Tuesday this week. We got spotty afternoon storms there on Tuesday after a high of 90. Wednesday's still looking like the day in which scattered storms are most likely across the entire tri-state, whereas Tuesday, late in the evening, it's looking west of Cincinnati. Thursday, lingering showers and storms as that cold front escapes the area, or at least generally the region, because we might not even see it pass on through, frankly, in which temperatures would hardly drop at all, which means they would rebound very quickly back to the upper 80s into the low 90s as we approach next weekend, which your first alert on that. It's looking hot, it's looking humid, with just a small opportunity of an afternoon storm. Very summer-like pattern that we have entered in here in the tri-state. All right, any other questions coming on into our Facebook comments at 6:13. Melvin's tuning in higher, and I know it's hot outside. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you, Melvin. You too. Make sure you stay nice and hydrated. All right. That is enough from me. Of course, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on should any of these showers and thunderstorms, or at least more of them, pop up this Saturday afternoon. I'll let you guys know coming up at Fox 19 now at 10 o'clock this evening. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Saturday.